In this video, I want to show you a few tips on how to begin to target the liver. Now, the liver is a large organ on the right-hand side of the body. So if you hit that liver just right, strikes, kicks, knees, if you hit it just right, a larger, better, stronger opponent will go down every time. Your body just shuts down, it's hard to breathe, and you just drop to your knees. And you see this all the time in MMA, in UFC, in boxing, in kickboxing. That liver shot, it's devastating. And there's nothing you can do about it. You just drop, and that's it, that's over. So a few tips I wanted to show you in this video on how to begin to target that liver. First thing is, you have to realize where the liver is so you begin to land your shots. So like I said, the liver is right here on the right hand side of the body, right below the floating ribs, right here, right where the little cushy area is. And it's actually, if you land anywhere near this large area right here, right below the floating ribs, or even to the ribs, right here on the side, this area right here, anywhere, that impact, that force thrown with a kick or a punch, it'll hit that liver. So that's what you want to target. So you want to remember left hand liver shot, or left kick liver shot, or knee. So basically it's all going to be left-handed or left side strikes. So remember this, left means liver. Now next, when you throw on the bag, you want to be able to know, just kind of visualize where the liver shot that you want to land. So you can either put tape, like duct tape around the bag where the body shot and where you're going to target the liver, or you can just visualize, so that way you can just target that same spot over and over again as you drill. So also on the bag, kind of visualize your opponent and visualize a spot on the bag that you're going to start hitting or kicking or kneeing, so you can kind of set up your shots and kind of target that area where the liver is. Next comes with the shot selection. So you have your left punches, and the number one punch that you're going to throw is going to be a hook. The hook is your liver shot. So left hook to the body, target it right in there, that's going to be your punch, left hook. Then you have your roundhouse kick, that's going to be your kick that you're going to deliver right into the liver. Now when you throw a kick, there's actually another kick you can throw, which is a front kick. And if you dig it right with the toes, like with this cushy area right here at the very top, you can have a lot of success as well. So you actually have two kicks you can utilize. A front kick that kind of digs your toes, and if you just land it right to the liver, you can just dig those toes right in there and land, and that's going to be a good liver shot. But I don't personally throw that kick a lot. Sometimes, but I usually utilize a roundhouse. So the roundhouse is going to be your most go-to. That's actually the kick you're going to see most often. A lead roundhouse or a rear roundhouse. But it's placed right there into the liver. And again, deliver just right, it'll fold them in half. Knees can be thrown from outside, or they can be thrown in clinch. And then you have your knee right there. If you just dig your knee right into that liver, again, that's a good shot. So you have left hooks, you have your roundhouse kicks to the body, and then you have your knees. And then of course you have your two ranges. You can be outside to line your shots to the liver, or a kick, or you can be in close, and that's where you can start landing your knees and setting up your hooks, your left hooks to the liver. So two ranges, outside, and then clinch in close inside. So now you have punches, you have your kicks, you have your knees, you have two different ranges that you can throw. And next comes the stances. So you have your orthodox stance, left hand, left side forward, and you have your southpaw, where you have your right hand, your right side forward. So these two stances actually give you different combinations to land. In between of them, they're somewhat similar in order to how you throw them, but there's one big major advantage of having one stance over the other. Since you're going to be throwing left hand strikes, you have your left hand strikes right here in the front. You can set them up to throw with power, of course. You have your cross body shot, for example, or you have your cross, left kick to the body. But because it's in the front, you don't have as much power as if you had the left side strikes, your punches and kicks and knees thrown from the back. That's where the power comes from. So that's the one major advantage, is you can throw the shots to the liver, and a lot of times you can be very successful with them by setting them up right, but you have your lead hand, your lead hook, your lead kick, and then your knee, which again you usually throw it from the back. You can't really generate a lot of power from the front, but you're not going to have as much power as if you switch to southpaw. So you actually need to target and work both sides, but the southpaw is where you get the power. So because if I switch over to southpaw, my rear hook, my left hook, now becomes the power hook. So I can actually set up my shot to the liver with a lot more power because it's back here. It's my power shot. So I can really dig that hook right into the liver a lot more with a lot more explosive power behind it. Same for the kicks. My kick is already back here. So if I throw my combination, set up the kick, my rear left kick to the body, roundhouse, has a lot more power behind it, and I can really kick through the bag with a lot more explosive drive than I can throwing lead. For obvious reasons, your rear shots are always going to be your power shots. So the stance is very important to target the liver. And in order to set up your shots to the liver, you just need to know how to execute them. So for example, one of the combinations that I go over in the course is you have your jab, cross, and then you have your power shot to the liver. Lead hook. So you set up your lead left hook to the liver with a lot more power because you're utilizing the body momentum and the twist and the torque of the cross in order to dig that hook into the liver. The other way to utilize your lead strikes with a lot more power is to do a switch, and that usually applies to kicks. So when you throw a kick, you can set up your kicks again. You can go left, jab, cross, and then a lead kick to the body, but it's not going to have as much power. But if you do a switch kick right to the liver, you're going to have a lot more power. So for example, instead of throwing a lead to the liver right from the position, let's say off a cross, and then you throw, you do a quick switch kick. So you do jab, cross, you switch your legs as if you're in southpaw, and then you deliver that from the back. That switch kick, devastating. It takes a little bit more time to set it up because you're not going to be throwing 1, 2, 3 with less of a pause, like a more even pace. You have a bit of a switch to do, which gives you more power, but it comes at an expense of a brief pause in between that could get you timed. So you just have to be careful, you just have to know how to set it up, and you just have to drill so it becomes natural and automatic and you flow with it. So you have your jab, cross, switch right into the liver, and that gives you a lot more power and a lot more devastating effect to throw to that liver. So with just those few tips, remember, don't be just a headhunter. Begin to utilize throwing to the body. But throwing to the body, you have to be also deliberate. Just like when you throw to the head, you want to target right behind the ear, you want to target the jaw, you want to target the temple. Same thing when you go to the body. There are certain spots in the body that you want to target with deliberate intent. You don't want to just throw to the body. You want to be able to dig into certain spots in the body, and liver is one of the best ways to bring somebody down quick with a powerful liver shot right there on the right hand side. So you want to target specific areas of the body, and you need to become a liver hunter, not just a head hunter. So you have your punches, you have your kicks, you have your knees, and you have to not just throw single individual strikes. You have to throw them within combinations, because if you just throw a single strike to the body, first of all, it opens you up, especially when you throw a hook. Individual hooks leave you wide open, and if you throw 1 or 2 of them, you're going to get tagged. So you need to hide your liver shots, your kicks, and your knees to the liver with other combinations. Now, these are the few tips you can begin to implement to become the liver hunter. But if you want to go more in depth, I have a course that I released called the Liver Hunter, and we break everything down more further. We focus on the punches, we focus on the kicks, and we focus on the knees, but we focus on them within combinations. I show you how to throw your punch combinations and target the liver, then combinations with the kicks, and then how to target the liver with knees. And we also focus on how to throw them from both sides, from your orthodox as well as from your southpaw. So you have your combos that you need to implement, as well as the two ranges. Also in the course, I go way further, not just the combinations, but we go further, because it's a little bit more advanced course, we'll go further into breaking things down on how to begin to set up your shots. So this is a very important part of actually throwing your combinations, is if you are going up against a beginner or a more intermediate guy, you can have a lot of success with just throwing combinations. So you just go jab, cross, kick, jab, cross, body shot, and you just kind of cycle between combinations. You usually land. But when you go up against higher level guys, simple combinations, even just 1 or 2 combinations cycled over, so you just have a little bit of variety, it becomes very difficult to land just combinations. So in order to land your shots to deliver, let's say you have a combination of jab, cross, lead hook to deliver, you're gonna have a hard time landing that unless you do it as a counter, like in betweens, they are thrown and then you deliver your shot to deliver. But usually you're not gonna land, because more higher level advanced guys, they know that you're gonna throw a combination and usually know how to respond to it. So in order to get better with combinations, you need to set them up. This means that you need to throw a few strikes before you throw a combination, and you set up your combinations with other strikes ahead of time, timing them, making them react, and then you deliver your combination. So that setup is the most important thing you need to know, especially when you get to a little higher level guys and you need to kind of elevate your game. So you need to know how to set them up. And I go more into detail on how to set up your strikes within the context of landing deliver shots, both knees, kicks, and punches. I show you how to set them up. And I also have a video in there that's a very important topic that's often not discussed, and that's breaking things down into even rhythm and broken rhythm. And that's where you put a little bit of pauses in between your combinations to break the rhythm, so you're not throwing constantly the same pace, the same kind of speed, and the same cadence. You need to be able to break your combinations with a little slight pauses in between, which makes it harder for you to time and to counter you back, as well as you're more successful setting up your shots, because it's kind of harder to tell when you're actually going to land the single combination and which punch is going to be kind of have that little slight pause in between. So this course covers a lot, specifically on how to target deliver. So get the course. We go deeper into depth on becoming a deliver hunter. So you are not just a hit hunter, but now you can begin to target deliver, and you have 2 devastating parts of the body that you can bring people down: the head and the liver.